Enjoy anytime that I have the opportunity to share. And I get to start off our first part one of our new series, The Basics of Estate Building and Planning, and just helping us identify what is an estate and how do I get started building one. Um, I know every time when I hear the word estate, I think of a good deal, a good sale. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get a good deal on some expensive furniture, or someone is selling something expensive that has been passed down for generations and generations. Well, let's talk about it today so we can be clear about what an estate is. So, an estate is everything you own now and in the future. It includes cash, bank accounts, investments like stocks, bonds, even retirement accounts, real estate, personal property, those cars, those jewelry and furniture that people look for when they hear the words estate sale. And then it also includes life insurance and business interests. So estate planning is just organizing these things, organizing your financial and your personal affairs for the future. This ensures that your wishes are followed if you pass away or become unable to manage things yourself. So, estate planning, and it's not just for the wealthy. Everyone needs a plan for their estate. And so, the reason why you need this is that it's anyone that has assets or personal possessions has an estate. And so it's very important that you organize these things. And keep in mind, you do not have to be rich to have an estate. An estate building is simply growing and protecting what you have. And we all accumulate things over the years, and then we accumulate for a better future, and we all look for growing and protecting what we have, especially our money. So why building an estate matters? It provides financial security for you and your loved ones, and it gives you greater control over your future. It prepares you for estate planning later, and this protects your loved ones from confusion or even legal battles. It prevents family conflict and delays. It helps minimize taxes and expenses. And it ensures that guardianship is in place for our children as well as pets. And so, some steps that you can consider when building your estate is to track what you own and also what you continue to owe. List all of your assets and liabilities. Start saving and budgeting. Definitely look and try to put a emergency fund in place. You want to start investing early, taking advantage of that compound interest, allowing that to work for you. You can use various retirement savings accounts like 401ks or IRAs, and then consider basic investing and maybe into index funds and even real estate. Definitely want to make sure that your assets are protected by getting adequate insurance, not only for your health, but your life, your auto insurance. And if you are a renter, there's insurance to help you protect your belongings while you're renting. And of course, homeowner insurance is a must if you are a homeowner. And definitely want to create financial goals for yourself, whether those goals are short-term goals or long-term. It could be a goal that you set to buy a home one day or even pay off your debt. So some key components that go into state of planning is wills. And wills is a legal document stating who gets what. And then trusts have their place as well. Trust is a tool that you can use to manage and distribute assets and possibly avoid sending your loved ones through a probate court, allowing a judge to decide if your will is valid and having them to authenticate the will for you. Power of attorney is also included in an estate plan. This names someone to make financial decisions if you're unable, and as well as a healthcare directive. We'll discuss that in more details in this series as well. And a healthcare directive details your medical wishes if you can't speak for yourself. And most important, beneficiary designation. On any account that you have money growing in, on any account that you possess, you must, and it's a asset related to that account. You must have a beneficiary designated on that account, so that institution knows how you would like to distribute that asset in your absence. And so, some habits that we want to work on and continue to grow in to make those smart habits where we have a healthy estate as we plan in and set for to achieve those goals that we want to accomplish is living within our means and taking advantage of technology where now we have so many tools where we can automate our savings and investing, and then tracking your credit and your spending habits, reviewing financial accounts regularly, just like we go to a doctor to check on our health. Most of us do this through annual visits. You should also review your accounts regularly so that you can make sure that you're hitting certain benchmarks, or you can adjust if you're off of your goal. And then identifying the difference between income versus wealth. So income is what you earn, but wealth is what you're able to keep and grow. And so estate building is about turning income into long-term wealth and security, moving from that active income more so in the passive income. How much income can you generate from your savings? And so what counts towards your estate value is everything. If you're looking at cash assets, that's anywhere from your checking to your savings, and if you have CDs. And when we consider investments, we're looking at all of the investment accounts and various savings programs that we can take advantage of. Like if your employer offers a 401k with the match, you definitely want to take advantage of that. Or even saving for yourself if you're a small business owner and your own IRA, taking advantage of stocks and bonds that are affordable, good stocks and bonds that'll give you the growth that you are looking for without a lot of high risk. And then real property, owning land, even your own home, is considered an asset and it goes towards your estate value, and also rental property as well. And don't forget about those tangible assets, those the jewelry, the art that appreciates, and even some classic vehicles, right? And just making sure that you get those items appraised to see if you made a good purchase and that you can expect those tangible assets to appreciate throughout the years and gain more value for you. And of course, insurance, death benefits. They transfer to your loved ones tax free. And so having that in place guarantees that you are building generational wealth for your loved ones. And debts, being able to subtract that from your estate value, whether you still owe on a mortgage on your home or even personal loans. You definitely want to try to get rid of those debts as soon as possible and learn the difference between good debt and bad debt. But protecting what you're building is a must. And you can protect with insurance. You can protect your health with insurance and your life. There are insurance programs that have living benefits now. And then a lot of employers offer their employees a disability supplemental insurance with the various carriers that they partner with. As far as an emergency fund, you should plan to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside so that you will be able to respond and not just react to those emergencies that may pop up from time to time. And you want to definitely avoid using high interest debt. Pay off those credit cards as soon as possible. If you're not, then put a plan in place. Let your creditor know that what your intentions are, and you never know what type of program or what type of discount they're able to offer you to help you accomplish that goal. But estate planning comes later after putting those things in order, and you definitely want to start building and building now. And so there's various tools to help you with setting up and starting putting those good habits in place to build your estate where you can plan for your future. One tool that we like to use at our Infinite Company is our wealth checkup. And this wealth checkup is a brochure that allows you to identify where you are today when it comes to building your estate. And it can help you reach those goals or just identify other solutions that are available that you might not know about, and you want to reach out to either your financial professional or an insurance agent. And if you don't have one, you can definitely contact us here at OIC 10K. We are available to help you. And so some of the items that are listed on this brochure is just helping you understand how your money gets taxed, and depends on what tax bracket, what tax bucket, excuse me, you're using to grow your long-term savings or all of those savings goals or your money. It really depends on how much you're able to keep. So understanding the different tax buckets, like we have a tax now bucket. This is after tax money with tax growth. So your dollars, instead of working twice as hard for you, you are double taxing your dollars. Now, each account has its place. And so if you have a lot of your money in the tax now bucket, you might want to look at taking advantage of the other buckets, but don't get upset with yourself. Now you have the information that you can start putting some plans in place. And don't forget, we all have the opportunity to save in a tax deferred bucket and a tax free retirement bucket. Now, the tax deferred buckets, that's before tax money, taxed upon withdrawal. And I like to use an analogy of a farmer who has a seed to help my clients understand the difference between a tax deferred and a tax free retirement bucket. So, I let them know a farmer takes a small seed and they plant it, they cultivate it, and they expect a tremendous harvest. Well, the farmer has to decide what what does he want to pay taxes on. If he wants to pay taxes on that small seed, well then he would be growing his harvest in that tax-free retirement where he gets to enjoy that bountiful harvest tax-free. But if he's like, well, I want to take advantage of just, having a low tax bill now, and I'm just gonna follow the herd and I'm going to grow in that tax deferred. Well, that farmer is choosing to pay taxes on that tremendous harvest rather than a small seed. And you just have to decide where you would like to grow your long-term savings at, and which bucket would you like to grow and cultivate for you as you building your state of planning. Well, remember I said the key is having an emergency fund. And so there is a guide to help you see where you are, where you can meet the various benchmarks, whether you're below average or average. An emergency fund is money that is set aside for unplanned expenses, such as medical bills, car repairs, home repairs, or even loss of income due to losing your job or maybe a disability. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know how much you should set aside for emergency fund? Well, The right amount depends on your financial circumstances. Typically, you should have enough to cover at least 3 to 6 months, but don't stop there. If you make it to that 6 months mark, then just push yourself to save up to 12 months worth of living expenses. So for example, if your monthly expenses are 3,000, then 3,000 a month, then your emergency fund should be anywhere between 18,000 or 36,000. And if you are at that 18,000, you could check off and say, "Oh, I'm good according to the wealth checkup. I'm doing really good." So this money should also be kept in an account such as like a high yield savings account for easy access so that you will be able to get that car fixed if something just was to happen at the spur of the moment, or you can respond to a needy repair. But definitely always continue to work towards saving an emergency fund. And if you have to access it, replenish it. But keep yourself within that 3 to 6 months. After you reach that 6 months, challenge yourself to save for up to 12 months. Now, I did say that emergency funds should be kept in a high yield savings account, but we also have to consider rates of return on our money. And a good rate of return for your investment should be anywhere above 6 to 8%. And so, one of the examples that the Wealth Checkup will have for you is based on someone. Um, Looking to have at least $50,000 a year in retirement income. And so with this example, this chart shows the amount of wealth accumulation versus age groups. And so, for example, if you're 60 and you have accumulated 20 times the amount of the projected annual income, it's considered excellent. And that's another area where you can check off. But if you're 49 and you have less than 50,000 in a savings program, it's considered below average. So you definitely want to get things going and making those plans to see what account can I take advantage of that's going to give me that above 6 to 8% rate of return on my savings so I can move towards my goals. And keep in mind, this young man, Albert Einstein, said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And he who understands it earns it, but he who doesn't pays it. And if we don't understand interest, we wind up paying a lot of it in those high interest credit cards. So this is actually a principle that you want working for you by having your money work while you sleep, right? And with that being said, protection is the foundation to your financial plan. Keep in mind, life insurance is not for funerals. Life insurance is for lifestyle protection, income replacement, tax-free wealth transfer, legacy building, and a lifetime of tax-free retirement income. When you are considering life insurance, it follows under the risk management area in our wealth checkup. Is determined by a dime method where your debt is considered and 10 times your annual income, also what you may owe on your mortgage, or if you have educational goals for yourself or your dependents. And so that decides how much protection that you need in place for your family. So income for your family will help. It will definitely be protected using life insurance to protect those assets. I definitely want to encourage you to start building your estate today by keeping these items in mind. Track your assets, start saving and investing, eliminate debt as soon as you can, and protect what you own and set financial goals. I have enjoyed sharing this information. Thank you for allowing us to share this information with our community. We look forward to seeing you again very soon at our next Totally Lit. If you would like to see this recording again, definitely like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, OIC 10K Totally Lit. And thank you once again. That has been my time. I'm going to turn